everybody, and welcome back for some EGFC Rocket League. I am Sepulence, joined by the handsome and talented Soy, and we're going to be bringing you, I think, 3 series tonight? I don't know. I'm just here. Either way, we are starting with the University of Connecticut, going up against Georgetown University. Before we get into all that, Soy, how are you, man? How's your day been?
I've been good. This is going to be an exciting night. We got a lot of matchups that I think are very pivotal. We're really reaching this is the start of kind of the last stretch of the regular season. Only, I believe, 5-ish weeks left, if you include this one. So these are some pivotal games for both of these two teams, and these are two teams in the Big East Conference that could really use this victory. So it's an impactful start to our night here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be kicking it off, and I believe we've got just a couple more series after this one. These are, per the Rocket League usuals, best of fives, first to threes, so a team has to win 3 games. And I'm going to call it right now, folks, we are almost an hour behind schedule, so realistically, we probably aren't going to have interviews. If that's your favorite part, I'm very sorry, but we are all about staying on schedule. If we get caught up, who knows, anything can happen, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Now, University of Connecticut and Georgetown are both schools that I would personally say are very feast or famine. They are very hit or miss types of schools where they show up and they steamroll, or the week is a little bit rougher for them. So to see them go against one another, I think there's some good opportunities for both of them here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And feast or famine has kind of been the name of the game as of late, because UConn, they're on a 3-game losing streak. They are still looking for their first win of the spring split after going undefeated in the fall split. And for Georgetown, they haven't had a great split this season as well at 3-8. Right. But they've also, played a lot of teams very close as of late. So they're really looking for that breakthrough game and trying to find it here against UConn.
Yeah, and speaking of breakthrough, I thought we were going to see it for just a moment there on the side of UConn. They go a little bit high off the top of the crossbar, and we'll say it every game, that crossbar, she has no friends out on the field. Every single shot you bring out will be interrupted. Can have some action now. Anton looking for a great pass here through mid, but not able to line it up. Georgetown fighting for ball control on their own. It's a lot of back and forth. This is very game one of these teams right now. Nobody is really pedal to the metal. They're playing it slow, trying to gather as much info about their opponents as they can.
Yeah, and also both of these teams, they are that type that, their offenses can be very explosive, like every offense of the Big East. And Red Pants showing off why, finding the angle there off the corner.
Yeah, Red Pants lighting it up for UConn. My bad on that one. UConn coming in hot. Red Pants finding that first goal. It took about a minute to find, but I mean, how many teams have we seen win by a single goal, right? There's absolutely a possibility that can happen at the end of the day.
Especially in the chaotic league or conference that is the Big East, where these offenses can be very dangerous. Red Pants, a player that I think is really a key factor for UConn. Anton is kind of the initiator on that offense, but Red Pants and JS Dina being kind of the new faces to the roster, when they get going, this Huskies offense, it is in full force. So for Red Pants to score early, very good sign for UConn.
Yeah, a great sign for UConn here, and let's see if they're able to capitalize off the back of it. You mentioned not really the greatest spring split so far for these teams. They're really trying to make a name for themselves, return to their former glories, and this may be the very game they're able to do that. Only 3.5 minutes, 90 seconds, just like that, gone down the drain. And here comes JS Dyna looking for another opportunity up and over. Anton looking for the shot, but not able to land it. But the tertiary attempt, it is Red Pants once again putting that goal away for UConn.
And this is classic UConn offense. Pepper the net and then use that backboard as a pass to drop it right down to the third man in. And Red Pants, once again, right place, right time, sneaks it inside the near post.
Yeah, credit where credit is due. Red Pants able to put away the only 2 goals. And I think you made a great observation there, Soy. This is very reminiscent of the UConn that we know and love. They're going to continuously pepper that defense, pepper that goal, and eventually they will break through. It's the play style we've seen them utilize for practically 2 years at this point. It is definitely a tried and true play style. UConn looking to bring it to the table once again. First half already down and out. UConn finding themselves up 2-0.
Yeah, and Georgetown right now, they've got to try and find a way to respond. Right now, the problem is UConn, they're doing so well at utilizing space, and what a shot by Red Pants already with the hat trick, sneaking that one just under the crossbar.
What a way to start. We've got Red Pants going absolutely feral right now on the field, able to find a hat trick in the first half of the game, sending a message early to Georgetown that they are looking to win this.
And you're seeing, too, part of the reason UConn has so much success is look how much space that they've got to work with, how quickly Georgetown is collapsed onto their own goal line trying to make these saves. And UConn is just, picking their spots, picking their shot placement very well. And Georgetown right now struggling to even find a clear. It's hard to clear the ball when you're trapped on your own goal line, but there's a chance inside the box, and it's quickly dealt with by Anton.
2 of 15 remain. This is where we enter the second half of the game, and a lot of players are going to get what I always love to call that second half buff, where they really just, for whatever reason, kick it up a notch. They know the clock is ticking, and there is the best example. JS Dyna coming in with the first goal we've seen that doesn't belong to Red Pants, putting UConn up 4-0 here in Game 1.
You're talking about buff. Look at the muscles on Anton here. Makes the pass and then just bullies the goalie out of the way on the goal line. I believe that was Serene getting bumped out of the way and opening the net for that goal. And now UConn up 4. These are situations that are few and far between that UConn have dropped. It's going to be a Herculean task, as you would say, but JS Dyna looking to ice this one early, a 5th goal on the board.
Oh my goodness, just showing it up and putting it down. That is UConn 5-0 in Game 1 here, Soy. They are just dominating the field right now. Only 2 minutes left. We're looking at 1 goal per, I don't know the math, but not a lot of time for Georgetown just to tie things up. They would have to score 5 times. What am I saying? They'd have to score 5 times 6 if they wanted to win it all. And right now, with only 2 minutes remaining, that is going to be a near impossible thing to do.
And there's just been no time for Georgetown's offense to go to work. Even here, off of kickoff, UConn's got possession. They've got a player ready, even though those 2 players do not find a challenge. And now everyone on UConn hustling back on defense. So there's just no space for Georgetown to work with to get this ball into the blue half.
80 seconds left for Georgetown to show any signs of life here in Game 1. They're playing it a little bit slower. We've got to talk about something we actually haven't brought up that we always love to, is this is only Game 1, right? Even if things go south for Georgetown, no matter how many points they seem to lose by, there's at least Games 2 and 3 where they can really kick it back up and turn it around. UConn maybe running the sprint rather than the marathon, and Georgetown might look to capitalize on that later on.
And Georgetown is one of those teams that does kind of adapt better as a set goes on. They're 1-1 in Game 4s. They're 1-1 in Game 5s even. So they're not, they haven't been in a ton of elongated sets, but they do play it closer. The more chances you give them, the better off they are, which is why UConn, they came out of the gate swinging. They're trying to end this quickly and early, and they're off to a great start.
And every team knows, any player knows, that when you have a game, especially one where you do not score at all to start the series, that's definitely going to hurt a little bit on the mental. Maybe UConn is looking to play a bit of a mental game just as much as the physical one. Maybe they're thinking, really start to put these goals away. It's all about sending that message. But right now, Georgetown, only 13 seconds left, unfortunately, gonna lose Game 1 in a pretty one-sided fashion.
Yeah, in Georgetown, once again, the key here, you got to have the ball to score, and they just never had the ball this game. You saw a few chances, maybe one here towards the end. Oh, what a save there. I believe that was JS Dyna getting across to cut that play off, and UConn take Game 1, but that was really the key. That offense for Georgetown, the Hoyas never had the ball in the blue half.
Yeah, the ball was just continuously on the side of Georgetown. They were not able to break through the defense. We have yet to really see their offense. And jumping into Game 2, that's something I'm going to consistently want to be keeping an eye on, is when Georgetown, or rather if Georgetown, is able to get that ball control, what are they going to do when they have it, right? I feel for a majority of that game, we never even saw the attempt, we never saw the prosperity of the offense because UConn just simply never let them have the ball. But moving into Game 2, can Georgetown get a little bit more offensive? Can they get a little more aggressive? I'd love to see that action come through early.
And we've seen from teams in the past, those teams that end up, being just shelled in their own net, a lot of their success comes from the very quick counterattack. They find one player breaking out early. They find someone overextending. But that hasn't been the case. UConn have played an honest game. The rotations are on point, haven't really been disrupted at all. And the third member, well, there's always at least 1, maybe 2 people back and ready for the ball to be punched down into their own end. So right now, it's been very difficult for Georgetown to break through.
Breaking through is, of course, what they're looking to do. They're going to try to find that hole in the offense as quickly as they can. Anton with a very slow game, and I love that play there because they could have overextended, gotten a little too aggressive, and Georgetown could have stolen it, but Anton played it a little bit slower. Like I said, that calm, cool, collected play style that we are already seeing UConn truly loves. They're trying to utilize that now, getting possibly another goal early. Captain Levi goes for the up and over. I wonder if that's an AOT reference. I love that show. But Georgetown, they're trying to get a little bit aggressive. They finally cleared it down toward the goal of UConn. Can they capitalize? Serene is not able to line it up, but a secondary attempt, the tertiary maybe. Serene goes in for another one. No! Bounces off the side of the goal. Very unfortunate, but Soy, we're already seeing more signs of life here from Georgetown.
They found their space, they found their pockets to go to work, but the problem is those shots are not on net. They're off the post, they're out wide, and UConn, there's no panic on their side as Anton takes to the skies to put the first one on the board.
Like you said, Anton just taking it up and over there to deal with any defense that Georgetown had. And honestly, very close. I didn't catch the player's name, but whoever that defender was from Georgetown, mere inches, frames away from being there to stall that out when they needed to. However, almost only counts in hand, shoes, and horse grenades, and we aren't playing either of those here. UConn is going to be finding themselves up in a 1-0 lead, 90 seconds gone. So this lead is coming a little bit slower than the first one.
Yeah, not as quick of a start, and it's like we said, these teams, they are a little bit more adaptive. It's a little bit longer pace of game for a lot of these teams. Oh my goodness, that snipe threw off both defenders, and Red Pants is on cleanup duty as he puts this one in the back of the net.
And that's just one of those GG go next goals. I mean, that is unexpected entirely. UConn was on top of it. They had the plan from the very moment that play was hatched, and it worked out so unbelievably well for them. Soy finding themselves up 2-0, only 3 minutes and 15 seconds remain.
And the worst part about that goal is it's a depth perception thing. You have to know where you are on the field. You have to recognize, hey, that shot actually isn't on net. But when you're standing outside the box like that, you have no idea. As Anton on the air dribble gets by all three to make it 3-0.
3-0. Just a fantastic air dribble across the board. And yeah, right between the two of them. I mean, thread the needle between those two defenders on the side of Georgetown. UConn, they're playing it a little bit slower. We talked about that right at the start, but they aren't picking up the speed at all. And that is shocking. It's working so unbelievably well for them to just play this calm, cool, collected play style. And so far, Georgetown does not have a response. Oh, and they don't have a response for that goal either.
Yeah, that one is a pretty simple clear. This is off the back of a double commit on offense because Georgetown, again, they're feeling the pressure. They feel like they need to make a play. And UConn, as we've been saying, cool, calm, and collected, just a grounded clear right to another player to tap it into the open net. And there's something to be said about that comfort level, right? When you're playing comfortably, you're playing some of your best Rocket League, and that's what UConn are right now. They are not being interrupted at all, and all the difficult plays, well, they're making them look easy because of it.
They really are. These players are looking so unbelievably comfortable. They are in their zone, and it's not like they're slowing down anytime soon. Serene goes for a goal, going to be able to block out one of their own. Going to be a lot of action now. Georgetown, they try to get ball control for just a moment, and in that same breath, it is stolen away the crossbar, interrupting the fifth goal for one chance, but not the second. JS Dinah is going to be able to find that fifth goal for UConn.
This is the problem with clearing it across the net here. Even though you're outside the box, it's dangerous to clear through the middle. Captain Levi trying to find a pass, and UConn quick to the punch, intercepts it, and it's just follow-up after follow-up after follow-up that makes it 5-0.
A 5-0 lead, 2:15 on the clock. So this is exactly where we were just, minutes ago, right? When there was 2:15 on the clock, we saw UConn up 5-0, and they're going to turn that 5 into a 6. UConn going up 6-0. Georgetown really struggling to find their stride against UConn right now.
They just can't find a way to clear this ball. Captain Levi's got a chance at it, but he doesn't get quite the touch he needs. And look how quickly UConn just pinched down on that play. The second he misses the touch, he's instantly up the wall, gets the beautiful pass, and there's already a player in the air inside the goalie box to punch that one home.
Somebody was there waiting for that opportunity to strike, and it worked out so very well. Only 2 minutes left, 120 seconds, and that timer will just continue to shrink, go down so unbelievably fast. There's such little Georgetown can do here.
They are really, again, struggling to get the ball through the midfield. It's something that a lot of teams have struggled with because for a lot of teams, it's just kind of boomer ball, right? They are used to finding those power clears to get it down to the back line because they have the space. Georgetown does not have the space right now. They are getting pinched down at the midfield line, and it's forcing errors like that along the goal line because they're trapped in their own net from UConn's constant pressure. Even here, you punch the ball down the field, but there's players already back, ready to control this ball. It just hands possession right back over to UConn. Georgetown have to find a cleaner way to get through that midfield line with possession because UConn, they're ready for everything right now.
They are ready for it all. With only 1 minute left, they know they don't have to score any longer. They can just play a calm, cool, and collected game. So my goodness, how many times have I said that today? That is just the best definition for the way this team is bringing any kind of aggression to the table. Red Pants going for another setup off the corner. It's going to get caught out by Serene. Oh, what a great pass, though, into the mid, and nobody is there to catch Dinah. That is going to be a 7th goal for UConn. You've got to wonder now, Soy, are they going to let Georgetown score just for the Brazil?
It's a valid question. I mean, there's no way to know. I will say, though, in that replay, you see Justina, smart recognition there. He's already through his rotation, and the instant he sees that ball clear off the corner, he turns his car around and says, this is a pass. This is an easy pass, and he's already up in the air for it. So the players right now just recognizing, hey, this is the small mistake that Georgetown is making, and every single member is recognizing it and turning on their rotation.
15 seconds remain, and unfortunately, folks, even with the Rocket League gods on your very side, scoring 7 times in 10 seconds is, I believe, impossible. We are now at 1 goal per second, which is certainly not going to be happening here today. UConn walking away with the second game 7-0, which now puts our total scoreline at, I believe, 13-0.
13-0, yeah, and
or
12-0, and either way, it's still a goose egg for the side of Georgetown, and that is a shocking twist, because remember, they've been playing everyone close, despite their record not showing that it's been that close. They've been going to game 5s, game 4s, and they're keeping all of their losses are, relatively 1-2 goals apart. The Big East is a very compact conference, but right now UConn is the team that's kind of flexing their muscles, saying, hey, we've had enough of this 3-game losing streak. It's time to get back on track.
And I mean, a 3-game losing streak for UConn may be a first in the EGFC history. This is a team that is consistently in our upper echelon of players, like you said. So this is going to be their comeback, their fight back is happening right here, right now. They've taken the losses, they've taken the weeks, and they've improved every single time. They're here to show that against Georgetown University in what, at this rate, could very likely be a 3-0.
And it's also worth noting that 3-game losing streak for UConn, it's not necessarily of their own accord. They have had a tough opening schedule here in this spring split. I believe RIT was one of the teams. They lost in game 5 to George Washington, who's been playing incredibly well this split. And I believe their other loss, it was 3-0 to Seton Hall, who now is the number 1 seed in that Big East Conference thanks to their win today over Marquette. So that's a huge opening schedule. And this is a team that's coming off of 2 big roster changes. 2 players subbed out at the beginning of this split. And so they've had minimal time to really kind of work together and get that chemistry on point. And now you're seeing it all come into place here, as this is a beautiful passing play. 1, 2, 3, line them up and knock them down. It's Red Pants once again.
Red Pants with an incredible opening. That is 3 games in a row that Red Pants has had the opportunity to find that first goal. And so I feel like maybe we didn't talk about that enough. UConn, they are maybe in a 3-week losing streak because they went against arguably the 3 hardest teams in the EGFC. Those are 3 top dog teams 100% of the time. So UConn has had a very rough schedule up to this point, but I guess we're looking on the bright side. Those teams are out of the way, right? You have gone against trial by fire. You have gone against the hardest teams here in the EGFC, and you are looking to come out with a vengeance. You are proving that point right here, right now. You're already up 1-0 in the 3rd game. You're going to find yourselves at the possibility of a 3-0 in just about 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's been a huge turnaround for them, or at least this would be a huge turnaround for them if they were to get this 3-0 over a Big East school. And remember, these are in-conference games. These are the valuable games, because for a lot of teams here in EGF, their only shot at that national bracket now is going to be those kind of conference playoffs. Those are the last chance qualifiers for teams likely the Hoyas here, because of how rough their fall split was. For UConn, if they can win that, that conference bracket, or if they can win the next couple of games, it's going to really help them in that conference tournament and for the national bracket possible placement. So there's a lot of emphasis on these games, and UConn, they've been known to show up big, as that was an awkward shot that Dina almost was able to put through, but Georgetown keeps it out of the net.
Georgetown keeping it out of the net and keeping this game notably closer than it has been so far. Usually around the 2.5-minute mark, we actually statistically we have been looking at a 5-0. 2 games in a row that has happened. Around 2.5 minutes, it was 5-0. Right now, Georgetown only down by a single goal. All they need is 1 goal to tie it up. Then they need a second to win it. They can force a game 4, maybe even into a game 5. But UConn, they are not going to let that happen easily. So they are keeping ball control, getting in hyper-aggressive. And Legal Eagle, who I believe is being subbed in this game, I don't think we saw them until this point. I'm not sure if they've just been a little more quiet or what, but Legal Eagle finally making some waves, able to get a great demolition. Is somebody there to capitalize off the crossbar, but into the goal. Anton finding that second goal for UConn. And it is going to be a 2-0 lead with 2:22 on the clock.
And this is another great recognition play. It was Red Pants gets demoed like you saw by Legal Eagle. The third man in is immediately there to cover his tracks. And once again, the beautiful shot placement just underneath the crossbar, even off the bouncer, it would have been near impossible to save if you're the last man back. UConn's offense, it is fully clicking right now.
It is clicking to a T. The pressure's on. They're finally getting back into the swing of things. I was worried they were running a sprint, right? But they are playing this with such good pacing. The control and the movements, the mobility has been nothing short of hyper impressive from UConn. They have learned a lot in these last 3 weeks, and they are giving us an example of every single thing they have improved on. They are looking to 3-0 Georgetown. Not only 3-0, but complete and total shutout. This is game 3. Georgetown has yet to put a point on the board.
It is few and far between the perfect sweeps we have seen in the EGF. I might only know of one other, and UConn trying to make history happen, and it looks like they will as JS Dina puts another one in the back of the net.
Another one going down. I wish I would have been paying slightly more attention on how aggressive these teams have been. I wish I was kind of controlling how many goals each of these players had. It has just been such a show. Red Pants always so strong at the beginning for UConn. As we get further into it, it's almost always JS Dina who's able to put some away, and then Anton with some great offensive and defensive play. This really seems to be kind of their well-rounded player. Speaking of Red Pants, haven't seen them since the beginning of this game, but the perfect sweep is mere minutes away, 82 seconds away from UConn with, like you said, Soy, I don't think I've ever seen a perfect sweep here in the Rocket League, so this would be a first for me.
And it's a return to form for UConn, too, because we did see a little bit of Red Pants and JS Dina in that fall split, but we also saw a lot of Droids and Disaster being those main 2 guys, and you look at the way UConn won throughout that fall split, 6 of their 8 victories were 3-0. It is a fully return to form. They are back in the in the thick of things, and I mean, what better way here against a Big East rival to shut them out with only a minute remaining?
This has just been breathtaking. I mean, it truly has. I'm almost running out of words to describe how impressive this has become for this school. It is nothing short of just a large and in-charge team for UConn right now.
And for Georgetown, it's kind of back to the drawing board, right? Once again, you have these weeks where there's a little bit of inconsistency here or there, but for a team that's played everyone close to be shut out, it calls for it's kind of a red flag of now what do we do? Now what do we need to change? And for Georgetown, I mean, once again, the biggest difference maker was they just never had the ball, and UConn, they knew exactly what they were doing from the start.
Yeah, UConn, they came in hot. They needed no time to warm up. They just kept the ball rolling, and they never let Georgetown get a moment to think or a moment to breathe. It just became the UConn show from that first goal from Red Pants with less than a minute off the clock in Game 1. They carry it into Game 2, and they dominate Game 3. A complete, perfect sweep across the board for UConn tonight. That is a first for me. I have never seen that here at EGF.
It is, again, few and far between. And that is, I think, the first perfect sweep we've seen in the Big East in general. And
yeah,
once again, for UConn, this is a massive victory. Looking back at how UConn has won in the past, I think some of their best and biggest victories have been because of team chemistry, have been because they're able to pass so well. They find each other so well. And you saw that today, just constantly passing the ball to each other, constantly finding each other from outlet passes to just backboard plays. It was on full display today against Georgetown.
Full display indeed, my friend. And unfortunately, we do not have time for an interview as we still are, even with that 3-0 series, quite a bit behind schedule. So we are going to throw it to another break. We've got 2 more schools coming at you folks in just a couple of minutes. Don't go far. Get some water. Do whatever you got to do. But come right back here for some more action-packed Rocket League. We'll see you then.